shot of propane. How are you guys doing? So I've been delivering babies for the last few days. Lots of torn vaginas, and really it's put me off ever giving birth. So definitely not gonna do that for a while. Anyway, I'm about to go and meet up with Johnny and Chris to do our 90-day checkpoint. So I thought I would share this process with you because it's a fantastically valuable goal setting process, and it's something that we do with all of our clients, and it really supercharges your progress in all aspects of your life. Now, to give you some context, this is a framework that we've adapted from a guy called Garrett J. White, who basically works with American overweight divorced businessmen who are really well off. They've hammered their business, they've done really well, but they've ended up letting all other aspects of their life fall apart, and they end up divorced, overweight, spiritually disconnected, and just having a shit time. So the way to, his framework, his solution to this, was to divide your life into the four main quadrants: body, being, balance, and business. So what we do there is we have a framework to then start growing within all those domains in your life, to make sure that no one thing goes way out of proportion at the expense of everything else. So the way that we do this, and the reason that we're meeting up, is to create a structure of accountability so that we can set our 90-day checkpoint within those four regions, those four domains, and then start moving towards them by developing some actionable tasks. So I'm going to talk you guys through this process, and if you're watching live, post any comments and we can go through some examples. To start with body, because really you're following this as a fitness website, but if you've been training for some time, you'll have seen that you start training as a physical pursuit. You're like, oh, I want big arms, or I want abs, or whatever. And very soon you realize that actually this is just the appearance, this is the surface level of a deeper sense of growth, wanting to grow spiritually, mentally, and physically. So with your body, you simply set yourself a physical goal. Look at your vision over 3 years' time. So in 3 years, where do you want to be with your body? Maybe you're looking for a specific physique goal, or a certain feeling that you think of, or that you have when you look in the mirror, or certain lifts. So then you say, right, let's try and quantify that, blah, 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 SMART goal. So turn that into something, 3-year vision, divide that down into yearly targets. So divide the lift goals by 3, for example, the difference between your current lifts and where you're aiming for, and then divide that into weekly targets, and then daily behaviors that will move you towards that target. That way, at the end of every 90 days, you can see whether you've hit those mini weekly targets and whether you're on track to hit your annual target and then to hit your 3-year vision. And all this stuff adds up so quickly. All the cheesy quotes you've heard about your habits creating you, and really, if you look at the state that you're in right now, you are just a culmination of the habits that you've had over the last 5 years, of the behaviors that you've automatically, unconsciously, or consciously done as you go through. So that's your body goal. Balance is essentially time with family, loved ones, friends. And it sounds weird to be setting a goal for that, but as you may have experienced, if you've ever gone through a really busy period at work or something where everything else just falls apart, and maybe your relationship suffers, maybe you just spend no time with friends and you become a bit of a recluse, it's important to systematize this in the same vein, so that these relationships, these really valuable things, really the only thing that on your deathbed is going to be of any worth to you, are held up and are maintained. And so that could just be setting a 3-year vision for what would you like your relationships to be like, what do you want them to look like, what do you want your marriage to look like, etc. So then that can be divided into daily tasks and weekly targets. The daily tasks, so Garrett, for example, texts his wife with a reason why he loves her every morning, or sends his wife flowers once every Monday. Or you could do it with, sending a friend a reason why you appreciate them every day, as long as they're not going to flagrantly take the mick out of you for it. So that's balance. Being is your spiritual side. So whether you are religious or not, or spiritually minded or not, this is basically time to yourself. And it could be reading something that just raises your, oh dear, Instagram, I'm getting scuppered by my own app here. Instagram's giving me a warning saying you've spent 10 minutes on Instagram today and it's going to cut me off in a second. So that is your spiritual pursuits. So you time could just be time out in nature, whatever it is, just things to decompress and to inhabit your body and your spirit. So that could be going to church, could be prayer, could be meditation, anything like that that establishes you in that place and that feeds your soul. So a bit harder to set goals for that, but it still definitely can be done. And then finally, business is any work projects that you're doing. If you're looking to get accredited, if you're looking for new professional qualifications, exams, projects, anything like that, and look at that all within the context of your vision. That way you have a bulletproof approach and a correctable way that if you fall off track, you know exactly how to get back on it. Now, the way to really, really enhance this process is obviously through a group accountability structure. And we do this within the Propane protocol. So this is the group program that we have. We run through a much more in-depth version of this process, along with sheets and frameworks that you can fill in and download. And everybody who has been through the process makes incredible results. They smash through all of their body, being, balance, and business targets. And ultimately, it changes them as people. So some kind of structure, what Johnny, Chris, and myself are doing is basically meeting up, setting the targets for each other this time. So we're giving each other the chance to really objectively look at each other and say, where are you lacking or where are you lagging in your life and what needs to be brought up? And so obviously you need to be able to put your ego aside and just take on that honest criticism from a friend and run through that and then go through the process, and you'll be able to move forward and grow. David says hello. Hey David. Doug, welcome. Larita, I totally get what you're saying, but what happens if you're already kind of happy? Does it need to be written down? I think I'm like this because I'm generally a contented person and very spiritual. Larita, then you've won. So one thing that I would suggest is like if you're happy and you now are feeling satisfied and you want to be able to now move that to help others, then you can still move the body, being, balance, and business goals towards helping others. That can be part of your, especially the balance goal, but your being goal could be, how can I act in more servitude to others? How can I help other people more? How can I bring up my family, my kids, my friends, to elevate them and do stuff to make them happy too, and just basically spread the love. But it is great that you're already pretty content, and you know, Larita is a Propane athlete. She has been part of the Propane protocol for a good few weeks now. She has transformed her body and she's looking excellent. So yeah, that is it for today. I'm going to hang around for another couple of seconds if anyone has any questions. Otherwise, if you want more information on this, check out the Propane protocol. You can always shoot us a message. And this is the process that we go through in depth with all of our clients, and it is one of the big driving forces that gets them the results and doesn't leave them feeling empty when they've hit their goal, because it's a much more comprehensive, complete life progress framework. Larita says there are always on being better, I guess. There are always ways on being better, but having had Propane looking after my macros and training, that was the first thing I was missing, and I've got it now, and that's why I'm so happy. Larita, that is great to hear. All right, guys, let us know if you have any questions for future shots of Propane. Otherwise, I will chat to you soon.